Hey, beautiful soul. Sonia B here, and I am back with several quick prophetic messages. Bear with me to the very end because I will pull some additional messages of what the Most High wants you guys to know in regards to these prophetic messages, okay? Of what some people may be dealing with this next transit that we're going through, okay? So I say all that to say that this first message came through as if some of you guys may be dealing with a situation. Now, if you guys have already been somebody who has started your journey, some of you guys could be seeing somebody who actually, it's almost like you're going to kind of even know that they're being activated in a sense, because it's almost like they're going to be doing something different than what they have done before, okay? And it's almost like they're being activated, okay? Because it's almost like when you constantly keep doing the same thing repetitively over and over and over again, it's almost like, you have no room to grow in a sense, is what I'm hearing. Is like, how teachable are you, or how teachable can you be in a sense when you keep constantly doing the same repetitive stuff over and over again? And I'm talking about relationship wise, okay? Because the way I saw it was some of you guys have been in these relationships that have been coexisting for a very long time. Let's just say maybe your kids are grown, and maybe they're still at home, or whether they're not at home or not. It's almost like, the way I saw it was, it's almost like some of you guys have been in relationships where you were using the kids to kind of hold everything together, but it's almost like the Most High is actually kind of coming through and cleaning house in a sense, if that makes sense in a sense, okay? And I say all that to say, because it's almost like, imagine somebody just sitting outside, and they're just sitting outside on their stoop, and they're just kind of thinking in a sense, okay? And it's almost like, they cross paths with somebody who ends up activating them, because it's almost like their soul is yearning for change in a sense. But sometimes people don't want to leave their comfort zones because it feels familiar. It seems like they don't know anything else outside of that, okay? And a lot of times we have chalked this up to generational patterns that maybe we saw our parents dealing with, whether it's a situation of unhealthy situations that people allowed themselves to constantly stay in, or to remain in, even though, let's just say, maybe the love has kind of fizzled out. There always be love that's there, but it's a matter of, just kind of just going with it. Let's just say, like, like, everything is the same, nothing changes, okay? And I say all that to say, it's almost like the Most High is kind of coming along and blasting that and disrupting that, okay? So that's for some people, okay? So you may see people within your immediate environment that you may notice that they're being activated in some sort of way to push them to move, or walk away from any situations that they possibly have been in for a minute, that's not been helping them in any sort of way, okay? So the next message that I received was, this came through a song, okay? For those of you who do not know, I told you the Most High gives me messages through songs as well too, okay? So this song came through, as Britney Spears song. It's like the song that says, I can't take it no more, okay? So for some of you, it's almost like this energy is about to ramp up and become more intense in a sense, okay? Some of you guys have been kind of suppressing, you have been kind of pushing down, feelings of your heart space. It's almost like the Most High is Okay, so thank you, Spirit. So for those of you who do not know, it's almost like we're going to have these intense energies that come through here, because it's meant to get you out of your comfort zone, kind of like the first message that I just gave in regards to, some people being activated within your immediate environment for is causing them to change and do something different, even if that means walking away from a relationship, okay? A relationship that may have just been, I just heard stale, okay? Thank you, Spirit. Just stale. When something's stale, it's like, I'm just dealing with this because this is all I know. It's comfortable, it's familiar, and I don't want to tread, in new territory because I don't know what to expect. I don't want to deal with any challenges over there because I don't know what's going to come in a sense, okay? So God is getting people out of their comfort zones, okay? So anyway, so as I said before, the message came through Britney Spears song, and it was the song "I Can't Take It No More." If you guys heard that song, if you haven't heard the song, go listen to the song, okay? It's actually a cute little song, but anywho, so that's the message that I heard, and that's some situations that the Most High is gonna basically, I'm hearing, just like put pressure on you in the sense of getting you to move, get out of your comfort zone, pushing you forward, okay? So this next message came through. Again, this is somehow tied back to not moving when it is that you're supposed to move and just procrastinating. So the way I saw this was in a dream. It was like almost like somebody's house was kind of being liquidated, being taken. I believe that's what it's called, being taken by, like, I think the bank, IRS, or whatever the case may be, when they come along and basically, I forgot what it's called. Basically, when they come along and basically take possessions from your home in a sense as a means to pay back bills in a sense that you possibly owe. So I saw this in a situation. For some of you, it just could have been a situation that the Most High could have revealed this information to you. And for some of you, it's a sense of becoming nervous of receiving this information because some of you are not sure if this is going to transpire or happen in this lifetime. But what you don't realize is some information that we receive, you have to know how to decipher whether it's from a past life or whether it's a parallel universe that you're coexisting in as well too. That something that could be happening or transpiring there. Well, when we're dealing with parallel universes, in a sense, it's almost like the Most High, there's something there on that timeline that the Most High wants you to kind of like heal and fix. Okay. And then information from the past, it's almost like the Most High wants you to see where it is that why you're kind of in the situation that you are in now, in a sense. And it's almost like to fix the situation so that going forward you're not no longer okay. Thank you, Spirit. So it's almost like you're healing that past life situation where someone came along, took some possessions of yours and took it away. But in this lifetime, it's almost like you're under divine protection. That is almost like it's just the opposite. Okay. So for some of you, I saw that maybe your divine feminine, she may have kind of taken this situation with ease because she had no choice but to do that, in a sense. Because the way I saw it was like, it came in a form of like a masculine kind of in the background, not really wanting to address the situation to the point that they're kind of like stressing out about the situation, to the point of, sometimes when people get a little stressed, they start doing little things just little things that kind of help them get through the situation. I saw somebody kind of like going to smoke a cigar, in a sense, because that was, I guess they was trying to ease their stress or, what was kind of happening. But what you guys don't realize, thank you, Spirit. But what you guys don't realize is this information may have been coming through. If it's a situation of, someone's home being liquidated or whatever the case may be, or, the bank, IRS, whoever it is, the feds, whatever, come and take a person's home or whatever the case may be, you have to understand is like God is trying to reveal to you the history of this habit and pattern. Okay. Because the way I saw this was some of you guys may have had a neighbor who has been a pain in the ass, and I'm gonna say it for what it is. Okay. Some of you may not want to hear this because sometimes we deal with 12th house energy, and I believe it's also the 8th house energy. Well, we deal with hidden enemies. Okay, so sometimes they could be hidden enemies within our environment and we're not even really sure of who is hidden. Just because a person wave at you, speak to you, laugh at you, kiki with you, and act like they care and so on and so on, doesn't necessarily mean that these people have your best interests at heart. Okay, because anybody can put on a smile, but underneath the surface, that's what God is looking at. So again, people can smile in your face, but under that smile or behind closed doors, they could be talk about you like a dog, as they would say, or they can, there's always more information underneath the surface that you don't necessarily know about. And this is what the Most High is trying to bring to your attention in the situation, because the way I saw it was like lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. So every time that you may have been incarnated into this earthly plane as a different person in a different vessel, in a different avatar, a different body, in a sense, maybe you may have always had the same neighbor. Okay. And I say, like, right now as an example, so let's just say as an example, the neighbors that I have now, in a sense, they were my neighbors in like previous lifetime, especially one who's really been a pain in the ass. Okay. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, they've been like a pain in the ass. Okay. So it's almost like the Most High is trying to reveal to you that every time that this person is there and showing up in your life in a dream, and they're always your neighbor, it's almost like every lifetime they was trying to extract something from you. Okay, trying to take something from you, but you didn't really notice that that's what was being done. But this is where the Most High is giving you the opportunity to heal that situation. So where people were kind of taken from you, even the situations of your home being taken, and I saw as if like the same pesky neighbors, in a sense, or for some people it may not even be their neighbors. For some people it could just be a hidden frenemy, as I refer to them as. That could be a coworker or somebody who you think is your friend, somebody from the sandbox from childhood or whatever. Just because relationships feel comfortable and it feels easy in a sense, that's what we make our mistakes at, because sometimes these people have hidden agendas that you're not necessarily aware about. Okay. And what I'm hearing, thank you, Spirit, what I'm hearing is kind of almost like Jesus. When Jesus was being born, everybody got wind that Jesus was being born. Okay. They knew that a savior was coming in a sense. Okay. So kind of chalk it up to like that. These people knew where you were going to move, when you moved, the time frame to which you moved, into whatever location that you moved to. And it's almost like they purposely became your neighbors because that was their way of, again, extracting something from you, taking something from you. So again, lifetime after lifetime, they was taking something from you. But this is the mean in the life where God is trying to give back to you what is owed to you and what was being taken away from you from previous lifetimes. Okay. So for some of you, it could be a situation that maybe you're kind of running from that situation because, you're kind of, it's almost like fearful type energy because you don't know how to respond outside of, let's just say, maybe people pleasing is what I'm hearing. So for some of you, it's a situation of you may have been people pleasing peoples in a sense. So maybe God is getting you to the point of doing something that you never done before. So like maybe before you was always constantly talking to your neighbors, hey, what's up? Maybe cutting their grass, or maybe, they were bringing you food, or maybe you was giving them food in a sense. So maybe God is asking you, not maybe, God is asking you to do something different now, because again, he can't reveal truths to you until you pull your energy back from these individual people, and then he will show you the truth. Some of you want him to show you the truth ahead of time so that way you can let go. No, this is where God wants you to do something different. He wants you to learn to let go so that way he can show and reveal you the truths. Okay. So again, these people have been extracting stuff from you lifetime after lifetime. So if you feel like maybe your soul isn't complete, or, you feel like your whole soul isn't there, like something's missing, like a piece of you feel like it's missing, it's because these people had your energy lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. But this is where God wants to change your DNA and give back to you what is owed to you. Why? Because it is your birthright. Okay. Okay. So moving on to the next message. Okay. And I just heard, thank you, Spirit. I heard also too, like, let's just say smoking and doing those things isn't necessarily beneficial. It may be a short fix or whatever, but you got to find ways that centers you, ground you. And the ways to do that is by connecting with nature, even if something simple as connecting with a plant or whatever. Okay. Just keeping you grounded and balanced or whatever. Okay. Cigars and, all those things. It just create imbalances in a person. Okay. So this next message came through a song as well too. And then it's by La Rouge. This song was, thank you, Spirit, which coexists with this message that I just talked about. The song is talking about, this time I'm going to be bulletproof. Okay. So you guys can go look up that song and you can listen to that song and maybe it may speak to you. But I just kept hearing bulletproof. This time it's going to be bulletproof. So for some of you, it's a situation of, again, maybe you may have had your home taken in a previous lifetime. Maybe, you might have been on that job where people just took from you. But now God wants to, allow you to create your own legacy and leave behind, a legacy for your kids, your grandkids, or whoever else the case may be. And again, it's a situation of the Most High is also, saying that this time your relationship is also going to be bulletproof. Okay. So, different situations pertain to different people. Okay. Whichever one resonates with you. So this next message came through was, for some of you guys, it might have been a situation that maybe a former person that you may have worked for, let's just say it's like an individual business, a small business or whatever the case may be. And let's just say maybe this individual person may have saw something within you that you didn't necessarily see within yourself. So the way I saw this was, it's almost like now this person, where they might have been kind of running games around you because you didn't necessarily at that time, maybe you weren't being activated at that time. Maybe, all your spiritual gifts were kind of laying dormant is what I'm hearing. Thank you, Spirit. So I say all that to say that now it's to the point that this individual who you once worked for, it's almost like they're choosing archetype people who were just like you. Again, there was someone who was the same color as you in a sense. Okay. And it's like now they're kind of hiring them on. And for those of you who do not know, I told you guys before, you might want to go listen to a couple of those messages over there on TikTok. But I say all that to say that Black people, you have to understand that, there are people who are realizing that they benefit from having you around. Whereas before they couldn't really stand you, but now they realize that you are the key to, making their life better. So this is where it's important to make sure that you're not being used by people, okay? Because people will show up and kind of say, all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, all of a sudden now you showing an interest in me now. This is where you're going to have to be careful, because it's almost like those roles are reversing. Whereas before, oh, I can't stand, oh, I don't like Black people, oh, blah, blah, this, oh, Black people this, Black people that. People really want to be you, okay? When people had issues and had problems with you, people have problems with you because they really want to be you. So now it's an opportunity. It's almost like, they realize, because some people are going through this healing, especially the divine feminine in a sense. And when she starts to pull back her energy from people, it's almost like people are really missing that energy when it's not there. So now it's to the point, it's almost like they're trying to find people or archetype or people who they think who are unaware and not knowing what it is that they're doing behind the scenes, what's being hidden. Okay. As I said before, hidden enemies, kind of like. So I say all that to say, like, again, this like business owner is hiring on somebody who maybe that possibly walked away because they realized their time was up there. So now it's like they're hiring somebody else who is the same color as you, but this time it's almost this person is younger. They're more younger in a sense. And I say all that to say, so either there's an archetype that they are maybe about the same age, but maybe young at heart in a sense. Okay. But the way I saw it was this person is kind of like being able to see them exactly for who they are, whereas the person that was working for them before couldn't see them for who they were until more so towards the end. But this person coming in sees them exactly who they are. So they think that they're hiding stuff, and they think that the person that's working for them can't see what they're doing, but they actually see everything that they're doing, okay? To the point that they're like, oh, you can see me doing that? So this next message came through was something about somebody's looking for apartment rentals, okay? Somebody walking in looking for apartment, okay? So guys, be mindful too of as you go and look for apartments, because one thing I noticed, I don't want to get too much into detail. Be mindful, because the way I see it is, I know sometimes these apartment complexes, they sit up there and tell you they have this so-called high standards, but to me, you can't have high standards if you just allowing any and everybody to be able to apply, but also setting up these systems in place to where it's saying, oh, okay, well, if you can't necessarily afford to be here because your income does not meet this criteria, we have this system in place to where you go through this system, again, like a third party, go through this system, and this system will qualify you to be able to be qualified, even though they just said that you aren't qualified to your income isn't qualified for you to live here, but they have a system in place that says, okay, this system will allow you to be able to do this, and that. I'm telling you, do not do that, because it's almost like a gimmick is what I'm hearing. And it's almost like having a credit card bill. It's almost like a loan. It's like an additional loan that they're kind of adding to your account. So don't let them bamboozle you. Okay. So just be mindful of systems like that. Okay. Because people come in talking about, oh, we have high standards here, and in the office they try to make it seem like they have high standards, but underneath the surface, going into these places, just like, ooh, so please do your research before moving and before signing any contracts, okay, that you may find yourself being obligated to and tied to going forward, okay. So the next message I received was something about some of you guys, God is like speaking to you and telling you that you need to issue like your moms an apology in some sort of way. So something about moms and apologies, okay? So if you feel like you haven't done anything wrong and you don't owe your mom an apology, then that message isn't for you. But if there's some of you out there, there's an apology that the Most High is placing upon some of you guys of allowing you to apologize. Excuse me. Wanting you to apologize for something that you've done, okay? So for some of you, I'm hearing it's a situation you wanted to apologize, but it's like your ego is in the way, okay? But again, God is asking some of you guys to do something that you never have done before. So maybe you're somebody who never really gave an apology. Maybe you might have said my fault or my bad, but you never said, you know what, I was wrong for doing blah, blah this, blah, blah that, and I was wrong for this, okay? Well, God respects the fact of a person, saying, hey, I was wrong, admitting their faults, admitting their wrongs in a sense, okay? That doesn't mean that you have to go out here confessing yourself to every person on the street. Sometimes you can take certain issues to God, but even those certain issues that you take to God, and you know what, God, like, I was wrong for treating that person that way. God is saying, okay, I accept that you felt like you was wrong, but now I need you to go personally apologize to that person. Okay, so there's those two situations. Okay, so for this next message, this one came through in a song yet again. Okay, the music has been kind of ramped up a little bit lately. So this message came through like Flow Rider song, You Spin My Head Around. So some of you guys, you feeling like, oh my God, this is, oh my God, like I can't even wrap my head around the situation of how I'm feeling. So whatever that may be, it could be a situation of, some of you guys are feeling, as I said before, these energies are ramping up and they're becoming more intense. Okay, so the more that you try to resist and hold on to your old selves, in a sense, the more you're going to find yourself having a hard time. It's going to be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, so be mindful. But because when you constricting energy like that, it makes you feel like a little unrest, a little unease or whatever, until you allow that energy to flow. Because again, when you constrict, that's when you start to feel that way. But when you go with the energetic flow, or what it is that the Most High is asking you to do, you're not constricting energy. It's going with the flow. So as you go with the flow in whatever it is that God is asking you to do, you make your path a little easier rather than harder for yourself. Okay. So the next message came through this was about moms, children's, and on a train. The way I saw this was, it's almost like during this next chapter, some of you guys are going to see that there are probably going to be some people who are in authority figure. And I say all that to say that where's authority before wasn't really practiced. A lot of people said a lot of things and they call themselves trying to implement things. Like, let me give you an example, because this is what came to mind, like border controls. Okay, well, you have those people who cross the borders and they was like, oh, well, I'm gonna build a fence, or I'm gonna build a wall, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. The way I saw it was, this next phase and stage we're moving into, shit is actually getting done. Okay, and I say all that to say, because it was almost like a mom and her children riding in on the flatbed part of the train. Okay, the part where sometimes they put military vehicles at, sometimes where they put crates at on those parts. There was no crates of military vehicles or cars or anything there. It was just flat, and it was like there was random people. So it wasn't just mom and children, but what stood out, because it's like I was seeing this through a mom's eyes, along with her children, in a sense. Okay, but there were other people that was around as well too. Okay, so it's not just about moms and children. So apparently it has something to do with people crossing borders in some sort of way. It's almost like, the way I saw this was, a train is a representation or symbolism of taking people somewhere, in a sense. So these people were hopping on something. If you think about it, if they wasn't inside the cart, what do you call it? Inside the train, I'm not sure what you call it. Inside the train or whatever, where you have your seat, you sit down, you paid your ticket, and the conductor comes along, stamp your ticket, saying, okay, you're supposed to be here. Because they wasn't in that side of the train, and they was laying on the flatbed part of the train, and the mom was trying to keep up with her children, there were other people around. It's almost like this train came to a halt and a stop. And I saw these people kind of walking, in a sense, and it was almost like this authority figure came along. He's like, he had a shotgun barrel in his hand, and he was telling, get off, telling them to get off the train, or whatever the case may be. So it doesn't matter who it is. You can be man, woman, children, whatever. But going forward, the way I saw this was, it was, some of you guys have been dealing with situations where, thank you, Spirit, is what I'm hearing, that there have been people kind of like the same thing as, the situation. Okay, so for some people, it's a situation of like border control. And for other people, it's a situation people have been riding your coattail, in a sense. So it's like the Most High is like, get off their coattail, and hold your own weight. Okay. Literally like holding their kids on to not just yourself, but to you too, and attaching them to, oh, thank you, Spirit. And what I just heard as well too, some of you guys may have been feeling like shoulder pain, in a sense, because it's almost like, when you deal with situations of like shoulder pain is a representation of you carrying the weight on your shoulder. Okay, so for some of you, you may not have even realized this is what has been going on. Okay, where people been energetically trying to attach themselves to you, or coming to you spiritually, giving you a sad puppy dog story, or coming to you saying, hey, can you do this, can you do that? In a sense, you have to understand that just because some of you guys may feel like that you're so-called in a spiritual leadership, and not spiritual, in a so-called physical. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Bear with me. Some of you guys may have been kind of chalking yourself up. People may have made you feel big. People may have made you, put you up on this pedestal. So for some of you guys, you've been used. Let me just say that for what I'm hearing. Thank you, Spirit. You've been used, okay? And I say all that to say these people put you up on this pedestal, but it's almost like they're taking from you. They're taking from you to the point that when people are constantly taking from you, it's almost like they're retrieving pieces of your soul in a sense. So therefore, if you're not really feeling complete, okay? So I say all that to say that's why it's important that you have to be mindful of who you give your time, your attention, and your energy to. And for some of you, it's a situation of you guys are, as I said before in a previous video, some of you guys are trying to control situations to the point that you're even doing the same thing with your kids when God is wanting you to do just the opposite of what was being done to you, okay? So I say all that to say maybe your dad was doing the same exact thing to you, and now you're doing the same exact thing to children. No, but some of you, I'm hearing that you have the message wrong in a sense. It's like your message is correct, but the way you're going about implementing it is the wrong way in a sense, okay? So you're just off, just by a teeter-totter is what I'm hearing, okay? Thank you, Spirit. So I say all that to say some of you guys have to be mindful who, again, you're giving your time, your attention, and your energy to, because, again, giving everybody your energy is not conducive to you, not conducive to your soul, and not conducive to your path. And sometimes, again, it can take pieces of your soul away from you in a sense, okay? So that's something to be mindful of. Okay, so anyway, I saw, as I said before, I saw like this person, telling people, get off, go, carry your own, in so many words, kind of carrying your own load or whatever the case may be. So basically, God is kind of implementing to them, no, it's time for you to carry your own load. You've been freeloading long enough, and now the time has come. And thank you, Spirit. I'm hearing like new beginnings. With this new beginnings coming, new shift, new things happening in a sense. It's almost like no more riding people's coattails for free, okay? Again, normally when the people ride a train, they normally pay for their seat, they pay for their ticket, but there's no more riding people's coattails for free, okay? So this next message come along. This next message come along, and the way I see, okay, thank you, Spirit. Let me going back to the train too as well. So the train is also a representation too of some of you guys are starting your spiritual journey. So wherever the track of life is taking you in a sense, and some of you may not like it, but it's your path, okay? And for some, it's a situation of this is the direction that you're meant to go in, and it's meant to unfold. It's the unfoldment of a person's destiny, okay? So that's just a symbolism of train, okay? But anyway, so this next message came through, and this was about, okay, imagine if you drive down a 2-lane road, let's just say in the countryside, okay, 2-lane road. Then all of a sudden you pull off the 2-lane. Now, need I remind you, this road is paved, okay? You pull off that road and you go down another road, and it goes down a country road, which is a dirt road. So for some of you, it's about embracing change. For some of you, it's about the path of less traveled. For some of you, it's a situation of rootedness and connecting to nature, connecting back to nature. So getting off that paved road in a sense and going back to, nature in a sense. And for some of you, it's a situation of connecting with your roots and embracing your natural environment, or which you were intended to be in, which I'm hearing one that you most likely you thrive in a sense, okay? And so for this last message, something about different points, somebody pointing to different points of their body. I'm not sure exactly what that message was, but something about pointing to different points of their body. I'm not sure if it's different markings, just having a conversation into pointing to different parts of their body. And I'm just hearing as well, maybe probably discovering, thank you, Spirit, discovering different things about different parts of the body as well, too. Okay, so with that being said, for those of you who want to stick around, I'm going to pull a couple of cards real quick and see what the Most High wants. Heavenly Father, what do you want the collective to know? What do you want the collective to know? In regards to the prophetic messages, what do you want the collective to know? What message do you have for the collective? What message do you have for the collective? Whoa, that's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards. Okay, so we have 8 of Winter, okay? It says you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself, thinking that you're powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. Okay, so that's for some of you. For others, it's knowledgeable experience, fair-minded, and unemotional, okay? So it says get advice from someone professional and objective. Public speaking, unemotional relationships, okay? So that's for some of you. And then for another group, it says, we have the Four Springs. It says, be grateful. You have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness. A contented personal life. Okay. Okay. So 10 of Autumn, it says that we have take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement. Honoring family tradition, okay? So that's for some of you. And then we have the Summer of 5. It says, trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others. Focus on that which frightens or worries you, okay? This is, again, talking about stepping out of your comfort zone, as I said earlier. And then for some of you, I have one more card after this one, okay? The Seven of Summons says, no more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options, okay? And that's for some of you. And then this last message come through. It says, optimistic, enthusiasm, creativity, and energetic, okay? It says, it's time to go after your dreams. Do something that expands your horizon. Let your creativity take flight, okay? Again, some of you guys are being asked to get out of your comfort zone, okay? And I say all that to say that, again, you can't accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish by staying exactly where you're at, in a sense, and thinking that things are going to move, thinking that things are going to happen. No. When you're constantly, as I said before, there's nothing wrong with repetitive, to get into a routine, to get into a habit. But the Most High wants you basically to get out of, a certain mindset, a certain practice, a certain habit that, some of you guys have been doing. And for some of you, it's needing you to get out of that repetitive behavior, because that's been your behavior possibly like lifetime after lifetime. And again, that's energy that's stored up in one's DNA that can be altered, and it can be changed by just simply making one act of choice of doing something just the opposite of what you normally would do, okay? So with that being said, I hope that information was helpful. I wish y'all much love, much light. You feel free to join me over on TikTok to hear any additional information that I may have. And I say much love to the next message. Bye.